Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Children's History video podcast. We're going to learn lots about the past and how it shaped our lives today. Today's topic is someone I'm sure most of you will know about. It's Florence Nightingale, and we're going to be focusing on two key questions. Number one, who was she? And number two, why should we remember her? Now, Florence Nightingale is a significant individual, which means she changed people's lives at the time that she lived and since then as well. She was born on the 12th of May 1820 and died on the 13th of August 1910. What a long life she led. Let's learn more about her childhood now. So, when in the past are we learning about? Well, we are travelling back around 200 years. It's to a time that's very different. Here's now. There are no TVs, no aeroplanes, no cars, and many other things that we see as normal today. Here is when Florence was born. Now, growing up, Florence was born in Italy in a city named, Florence, which she was named after. You can see it marked on the map with a blue dot. Her sister was named after a place in Greece. Her family were wealthy, and a year after she was born roughly, they returned to Britain to their estate in Hampshire called Embley Park. You can now see it marked on our map. They travelled to France and met a lady called Shelley Clarkey, who would become a lifelong friend for Florence and sure that women could be the equal of men. Does that sound normal? Well, it was not at the time. When she was older, she had some experiences that she believed were from God that made her want to help other people. Her family were against it, and she respected their wishes until she was about 24 years old. Now, women at the time were normally expected to be a good wife and mother, and not a lot else. She did something different and went on to teach herself about nursing. Remember, this was very much against what was normal for wealthy women at the time, because they wouldn't normally be given an education. Because she was wealthy, she travelled across Europe, including Rome, Greece, and even Egypt. When she was in Rome, she met an important man called Sidney Herbert, and the two became friends. Remember that name because we'll hear more about him later. When she was in Athens, Florence met an interesting friend. She rescued a young little owl from a group of children that were being mean to it. She named it Athena after a Greek goddess and often carried it round in her pocket. In Germany, she watched a religious minister and deaconess. They're titles that people have if they're in the church. It was a turning point in her life, and she also received some medical training there. Thankfully, she was paid an income from her father that meant she could live in comfort and pursue her career. Because at that time, nurses weren't paid money. They didn't get training like they get today. If her father didn't do that, I wonder, would she have become such an amazing nurse? We'll never know. So, what have we learned about her so far? Well, number one, Florence came from a wealthy family. She was lucky because she could afford and had the chance to travel around Europe, which was very rare at the time because remember, there were no trains, planes or cars, so most people wouldn't be able to travel very far at all. She had a clear view about what she wanted to do, and that is something that she'd carry with her for her whole life. Now next time, we'll be talking about what she is best known for and why Florence Nightingale is such a significant person to learn about today. So let's check in on our key questions. Who was she? Why should we remember her? We've answered our first question. So next time, we're going to have a go at answering the second one. Hope you've enjoyed listening and watching. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.